Sean with Aviation Career Interviews, and I'm speaking with Bert Boda. Where are you located, Bert?
I'm out in Petaluma, California, Sean, south end of the wine country.
Now, you had a long career in aviation as a captain for commercial as well as private jets with NetJets. Is that correct?
That's it.
All right, so the purpose of what we're going to be doing to help out people in the aviation industry is essentially helping create their story so they can share it to be able to market themselves, gain new employment, and also save it for next generations. And we're going to kind of go through how we do that. So Bert, why don't you talk about how when we did this for you, for your career with TWA, and also highlighting what you've done for private jet industries.
It came out really spectacular. I mean, I'm not saying that because it was me, but I just like the way you did pulled all the career highlights together, put it on a card, put it on this slide that we see here, and it looks very professional. And I think that kids, especially coming up in the new to the industry, are going to really like this stuff, as well as senior guys who might be thinking about changing airplanes as in the private jet pilot industry or whatever. It's or leaving it for a legacy to your friends, family, and grandkids. It's going to be, yeah, good
and
for everything.
Able to essentially co-interview, because you've got a lot of experience within the aviation industry, and I've handled a lot of documentaries for TWA Airlines alumni, the racing industry. If you kind of want to touch on some of these areas that we're going to be able to help them out.
This would be a great tool to be able to create your career story. Will showcase key moments in your career with pictures and make it really come alive that way. And also we'll be discussing your education, your highlights, background in your career that you want to showcase, as well as can share it with potential employers, fellow professionals, for family, kids, grandkids, whatever. It's an all-around good tool to showcase what you've done and who you are.
So some of the examples that we were able to showcase: 1, he was an author; 2, he has a podcast; 3, he also is in charge of a private jet group within social media, being able to showcase previous co-pilots and people that he's worked with, as well as key people that you've been able to fly for as far as your clients. I mean, obviously that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. So just give us an example of what that was like to be able to work with some of these top people that you've been able to help out and fly them around the country.
Well, it was a little different flying for NetJets. It was a more personal relationship. I got a chance to interact with the passengers, get to know them get to know me, versus sitting in a commercial cockpit, especially nowadays. In the old days, we could go back in the cabin and go back and talk to the people. But nowadays, you're pretty much restricted to staying in the cockpit for security reasons. But that was the major difference between flying commercial major carrier like TWA and NetJets. And it was much more personal. And also the flying was a lot more challenging as well as rewarding. We got to go into places we would never have gone into in the airlines, obviously, and really sharpened your skills as a pilot.
Some of the other benefits is not just being able to share it with fellow professionals that you've kept in contact over the years, but also with your family. And specifically, the areas that we're going to be able to cover would be your previous career, motivation for aviation, training and education that you've built to encounter and get certifications for levels of planes, and what makes a great pilot. You've been able to really, or a flight attendant, be able to really explain that. And also the meaning and motivation for your career and why you really wanted to stay in the industry in those stagnant times, its down times, and show how you've continually grown by learning new technologies, what education levels you've acquired, and also what type of upgrades you've done for your own career, and mentoring individuals, as well as who's been some of your key people that have stood out to you, some of your travel experiences and showcasing your career highlights, maybe awards that you've had, and also how to promote this within the industry. We'll be able to help you do that and show you the different ways besides online as well as expanding and using this in other networks, and to share your career story basically with people you love, family and friends, and be able to pass it on forever. Explain a little bit about what you do currently within the industry and how you're still trying to leverage not your network, but also your knowledge.
Well, one of the things that I've been doing for about the last 3 or 4 years, Sean, is Aviation Expert, which is that's on the screen. There is Seek, SEAK, and it's a site where you list your qualifications, your CV, your resume, and lawyers come in, they review your qualifications, and then they end up hiring you to give, in my case, give my opinion based on my airline and corporate background on their cases. And I've had like 6 cases over the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, a lot of what I'm doing now is helping to mentor pilots, and I get a big kick out of that because nobody did that for me when I was first starting out. I had to figure it out on my own. So I figure if I could help new pilots, younger pilots who are just getting into the game, especially now since the business has changed so much, that to me would be not just rewarding, but it would be fun. And I've been doing some of that in the past, but there's a program that I'm signed up for now that is helping to increase pilots' awareness and emotional intelligence so that they can come across better in their communication, as well as if they were to get hired and go through the interview process. That would be very helpful for them.
Well, I think part of this that's important is being able to give them that continual education on how they should really be positioning themselves within the industry for future employers, and to be able to showcase really what they've done to stand out. You know, if them being able to hand a card out to somebody they meet, they'd be able to scan and go directly to their story. Like, here's an example of one of the individuals on the board of directors for TWA's museum in Kansas City. This is a way that he's able to share his story. And here's a shot of your card, Bert. Have you found that being able to share this with others is a really good way to be able to get it out?
Yeah, I've been passing it out as my business card, basically, and it tells the whole story in one shot. So it's pretty handy, rather than just a kind of a bland old vanilla type business card. Just really, not only have you put together some nice colors, but highlights of my career, which might help other people and also get me hired to do more work. So very, very good stuff.
And this is an example of being able to showcase a previous career and then technically what you're doing now for work. So it's not just even for the current people that are flying, but it's also for the people that are still staying involved in the aviation industry to showcase the past as well as the future. We will come up with a very good plan out the gate to be able to really help people build that story, showcase it, and walk them through a professional conversation. So Bert, in closing, what else would you like to say as far as the value of this to potential pilots, people in the aviation industry, and even, let's say, flight attendants that want to still stay flight?
I would say jump on board. Ask Sean or myself, get a hold of us, ask us any questions, and I will tell you point blank how I share this with the people that I run into, and how it's brought me connections so far, not only in my flying career, but in my writing and my aviation expert work. Sean's got the background, putting together the professional appearance. He knows the right questions. He's got all the information. He's been doing this for probably 2 of his own lifetimes. And then you combine that with my background in aviation, my expertise there, my experience, and I think we got a dynamite combo, and it will definitely help whoever joins us, comes on board with this program. It's going to be a winning combination for you guys and gals as well, both pilots and flight attendants.
All right. Well, Bert, I look forward to the road ahead and helping save these careers and also keeping them flying on future potential employers. And I appreciate what we've already been able to do and create. And I look forward to what we're going to be able to do to help these people's stories live on.
Great. Thanks for this, Sean. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you too.